What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name's Greg Wave. So what I'm going to be doing for you guys today is 7 apps you can utilize to increase your earnings. There's a lot of apps that are really going to help you out, and if you're not utilizing them, you're not going to get the most of your potential out of Uber and Lyft driving. I harp in a lot of videos about how you should really be striving to make that extra $1 to $3 per hour. A lot of these apps are going to help you do that. So many people in the real world will work at a place for like a year just to get like a $1 per hour pay raise. So if you can make a few simple changes, add a few apps, and go from making 18 an hour to 19 to 21 an hour, that's a no-brainer, and it's going to be more money than you think. But I think a lot of times as Uber and Lyft drivers, we don't really think that way because we're thinking, what did we make at the end of the night versus what did we make per hour? But I think it's really wise to analyze these things at a per hour scale, because what it will do is it allows you to just add some structure to your life. I always hated the days where I was like, okay, I want to go out and I'm going to work until I make $200. I hate that. So what I like more, I like knowing, okay, I know I can make 20 an hour. I know that if I work, 5 hours, that's $100. And so I've figured out all my bills and everything where I actually can do a set schedule with Uber and Lyft and pay all my bills. And I think a lot of the reasons so many people don't do that and they do more of the spastic approach is because they feel like they can't trust the inconsistency of knowing and not knowing what you're going to make. Because you really don't know. On any given night, you could have a good night or a really crappy night, and it could really hurt you. So in general, I think it's really good to just set a consistent schedule. Like for me, my only schedule is I work Monday through Thursday, and I think 6-7 hours a day. And I have an amount I want to make at the end of those days. And what's cool then is then at the end of the week, if I don't make that, whatever I'm short on, I'd go make on Friday. So I've only been able to do that because I've learned how to consistently make $20 an hour, and a lot of these apps are going to help you do it. So the very first one I have, this is more for like the California markets. This is a newer concept, but from what I've heard, it's going to be releasing most places soon. It's called Play Octopus. And Play Octopus is this tablet that they give you with all these games on it, and you can just give it to passengers to play, and they can just play games on this tablet while the ride goes on. And then there's ads in between the games, so that's, I'm guessing, how they make their money. So that's a really awesome concept, because I think doing things like that, it just makes you look really legit as a driver. I took an Uber one time where he had 2 iPads mounted to the back of the passenger seats. You couldn't steal it. There was not a chance you were ripping it off. But he had it set up with games and all this stuff on there that you could do, and he had it also wired through so that you could change the music from the iPads in the back. And I remember always thinking that is so cool that he's got those iPads back there. And I tipped him $5, because I said, hey, here's a guy who really wants to give me a good experience. He really wants me to get the most out of this ride. So doing things like that, having that tablet in there, it's just showing people that you're doing as much as you can to give them a good experience. Most drivers will pick you up and they won't say a word to you the whole ride. The car's probably a little bit dirty, and it's just a bad experience. So if you're that driver that has that tablet in there and is social and doing all these things, that's going to stick out, because there's not a lot of drivers that do things like that at all. I mean, there's really, really not. The next one is GetUpside. GetUpside is so incredible. This is probably the most important one out of all of them. And I will leave referral links in the description to all these apps so you guys can go and very easily find it. But GetUpside, so the main reason you guys should get it is the very first time you fill up, 25 cents off per gallon. Now, you can't tell me that 25 cents off per gallon isn't worth it. That, even if you're just filling up once, is worth it. But what's incredible about the app is every single person you refer, you get 1 cent off per gallon. So if you refer 10 people, you're getting 10 cents off per gallon every time you fill up. And then if you combine that with your Uber fuel rewards, I get 7 cents off per gallon. If that were me, that's 17 cents off per gallon every time I fill up. That's a really killer deal. Really, really killer deal. And if you add all that up at the end of the year, I promise you it would be like mind-boggling how much more money it is. So GetUpside, that's the next one, an absolute necessity. The next one we have is Cargo Snack Box. This is also just an amazing concept, and I think all my weekend warrior drivers, like, you're gonna mop up with Cargo Snack Box. So it's not in my market yet, but I've already signed up to have mine. But I have a lot of buddies that are telling me they're using it in, California, and I want to say like New York, I think is one of the markets. But it's really cool, and it's just what it sounds like. It's a box full of snacks, but they have it set up so that, you're not going to just get robbed blind. But it's got gum in there. It's got all kinds of stuff that people are always asking for. And so you can make money basically upselling the products in this little box. So just dream with me. You're driving on a Saturday night and you're picking up a bunch of drunk people and you hear them say they're hungry. Like, that's the easiest way. Oh, well, I tell you what, I've got this new app-based program. It's called Cargo Snack Box, and you guys can actually buy snacks off me. Yeah, I'm telling you, people are going to be all about it. Like, I think it's just a really, really brilliant idea. So, especially if you're in one of those bigger, markets for Uber and Lyft, look into it right now because it is already out. It is already out. It just depends on the area you're in. So, let's see. The next one is Firefly Ads. So Firefly Ads, again, not one I've personally looked into. I only know a few people have done this one, but it's a really interesting concept, and it's basically just advertisements on your car. So again, I don't know what that one's really looking like, but if you're not worried about, having something in your car, like a wall, maybe it's a big monster logo, for all I know, is one that I feel like I see a lot. But if you're okay with that, that's a great way to make some additional income. I mean, you're not even doing anything. You're just putting something in your vehicle. You don't even have to sell, you don't even have to do anything different besides just drive a car with, something printed on the side of it. So for those of you that want to look into that, obviously feel free. The next one is Stereo, and Stereo is just basically a music platform that was designed for us. I believe it's another one where they make money off specialized ads that are probably coming on after a lot of the songs. But for those of you that are a little expensed on, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, whatever you use, this might be a good one to check out next because you can actually make money from it. So Stereo, that's another great one to look into. And then I'm going to do a few more. So Stride Tax is the next one. Stride Tax is imperative, unless you're using TurboTax or one of the other ones, but you can really put yourself in a really, really bad place if you're forgetting to report your mileage, or if you didn't record it and then you report to the IRS. You can actually owe them money at the end of the year with Uber and Lyft. And that's definitely not what you want to do because, you're already losing 20 to 25% of what you make to Uber and Lyft. Well, it's really more like 25 to 30%, and then you lose a good amount to gas each month. And there's a lot of stuff that's involved in basically being able to do this. So my point is recording your miles is absolutely necessary, because at the end of the year, the last thing you want to have added to your plate is to be financing tax payments because you didn't record your miles. It's just going to save you money at the end of the year, come April, May. It's just going to save you money, and a lot, and it is really, really worth it. So I recommend Stride Tax, free app. You can get on there. It records all your miles. I think it'll do it even when you're driving too. So the reason why that's also important is because Lyft and Uber record your miles, but only driving miles. They're not recording your miles when you're going to pick up passengers, and they're not recording your miles when you're driving around waiting for a ride. So all those miles, you're tacking onto your car and you're not getting anything for. So it's just an absolute no-brainer. Stride Tax, I mean, this is another one that it's not even oh, this is going to really help you out. It will, obviously, but it's necessary. You just need to have that TurboTax, something. I mean, if you're old school and you just write down your miles all day, hey, that's fine, and save the receipts. I'm not like that. I can't do that. So Stride Tax is another one. Flight Stats is the next one I have up. Flight Stats is really important because one of the worst things you can do as an Uber and Lyft driver is get stuck in the airport queue for a long time. I've had some really bad nights or days where I was stuck in the airport queue for like over an hour, and I would never leave because I kept thinking, oh, I'm about to get a ride. I'm probably about to get a ride, or the line's about to speed up. It's about to speed up. And I've had times where I've been stuck in an airport queue for like a really long time, and I was like in the 10 like most recent cars waiting for a ride. But what happens is if you're just at a dead time and there's not a lot of flights landing for a while, you can wait a good amount of time. So having an app that you can flip on and see what flights are landing, you know, gauge for yourself a pretty good idea of how many people are going to be Ubering. Most airport lots, I mean, I think are like 100 people or less for the drivers that are in the lot. I mean, well, really big cities are probably way more than that. But like even here, the busiest I ever see the airport queue is like 50 to 60 drivers. So you got to think that's one flight. You know, that's like one flight that's dropping off. But again, if you're in a place where you don't have flights landing constantly, you know, you might wait for a while. So flight stats, really necessary. It's just going to make sure you don't screw anything up at the airport. So, but that's what I got for you guys. So I'm going to let you guys go on that note. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please look into those apps. Like I said, all of those links are in the description below. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you all soon.